Yes, footballing community, welcome back to AlbertJTV for another episode of Player Focus, hashtag episode 2. Today's feature will be Crystal Palace and England left back Tyrick Mitchell, hashtag Mr. Impressive. Footballing community, sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. Footballing community, you should know what to do by now. Like, share, and subscribe. Welcome back to AlbertJTV. A social media platform. Know what you're talking about, and what I mean by that is goals. ESR and Saka have done well. They've done okay. They've done well. Yes, people, welcome back to AlbertJTV. Player Focus Part 2. People, as I always say, obliterate the like button and subscribe to the channel. On the road to 1K. So people, first I must say thank you for the response for my new feature, Player Focus Part 1 with James Justin. Thank you for the feedback. It is much appreciated. What you liked and what you may not have liked. So it's much appreciated. People, as you should already know, my Instagram and Twitter are going along the bottom of the screen in the banner. So make sure you go and follow on both social media platforms if you haven't already, but I'm sure you have, people. So yeah, people, my player focus for episode 2 is this amazing young man. If I can find the picture, bear with me, people. It is Crystal Palace left back Tyrick Mitchell. Listen, I'll be honest. He kind of came to my sort of fruition, or I first kind of heard about him was he broke into the Crystal Palace side under Roy Hodgson. He's 22 years old, Tyrick Mitchell. He's at Brentford from 2012 to 2016. He then joined Crystal Palace in 2016 and made his actual debut for Crystal Palace on the 4th of July, which was the 2019-2020 season. I think he's been exceptional, man. He didn't have too many games in his sort of kind of first season under Hodgson, but he showed very good promise. Very good defensive. Now people go, but when you have certain players that play for a certain club in the Premier League, they're gonna have to defend a lot. But that's your job as a defender, to defend well. But the interesting thing about Tyrick Mitchell is 2 seasons ago, I believe, I think this would have been in Roy Hodgson's first, not Roy Hodgson's first season, the season that Tyrick Mitchell broke into the Palace side, which was the season before Roy Hodgson actually left and before Patrick Vieira took over. He was out of I think he was in the last 6 months of his contract at the time. And I said to a few people that I YouTube with that I generally believe, right, that some of the Premier League clubs missed out on one there. And I actually thought Arsenal should have looked at him. I can't remember, did I mention it before we signed Tierney, or was it when we kind of had Tierney? I can't remember off the top of my head, but I'm surprised a lot of Premier League clubs didn't look at the situation. Yes, he'd only just broken into the Palace side. I think at the time he'd only had, if I'm right off the top of my head, only about 12, 13 games. So some people might look at that as a massive gamble to bring in a left back at your club who's only had 13 or so games in the Premier League. But from what he showed in his time in the Premier League when he broke into the Palace side at first, he was excellent. Not too many wingers I saw got the better of him. And like I said, I'm surprised some Premier League clubs didn't look at him then and take a punt. He would have been within the last 6 months of his contract, and you would have got him for a very, very good price. Because obviously at that time, he hadn't broken into the national side as he had done. He got his call up to the England setup on on March 2022, and he featured in the home game, I believe, at Wembley against Switzerland on the 26th of March. And you know what? It was well deserved. And I sort of look at some of his stats, people, in regards to Premier League history on going by since he's been in the Premier League. He has had 59 appearances, tackles 173, interceptions 64, recoveries 339, and a tackle success rate of 54%. When I watch him play, one word that comes to mind with Tyrick Mitchell when I've seen him play for Palace under Hodgson and Patrick Vieira is he's very tenacious. Very, very tenacious. Doesn't half like a tackle, I'll tell you that. But one thing I saw with Tyrick Mitchell, which was quite surprising, I don't know if people knew this or not, but hopefully I've got this right. In the 3 seasons he's been playing in the Premier League, he's only been booked 3 times. I was shocked when I saw that, I've got to be honest with you. That tells me a few things. What it tells me is that he doesn't get caught out defensively very often. He obviously is not rash in the tackle. And obviously disciplinary-wise, to only have 3 bookings in a side that does spend probably a fair share of time defending is exceptional, because it shows to me that he's not rash. And he's always probably in the right place at the right time in from the games that I've seen him, because obviously being an Arsenal fan, and we're not Palace fans, so that I was quite surprised. I found that statistic. 3 bookings for a left back tackling the way he does. So yeah, he fully deserves his call up to the England national side under Gareth Southgate for that friendly against Switzerland in March this year. But people, tell me your thoughts, man. Tyrick Mitchell, like I said, my player focus thing is not necessarily a transfer update show. It's who players that I think Arsenal personally should be looking at. I've mentioned it before when I did the player one focus with James Justin. As much as I love Kieran Tierney, can we depend on him? From what I've seen, no, we can't. But that's been a systemic problem with Kieran Tierney when he's at Celtic, and obviously being at Arsenal now for the amount of games he's missed. But Tyrick Mitchell's been exceptional. He defensively is fantastic. Going forward, he's, for me, has shown promising signs. But defensively, you'd want your defenders to know how to defend first, as well as being fantastic offensively. And for me, from what I've seen, he's got that down to a T from the 2 and a bit years I've seen him play in the Premier League. So people, do me a favour, drop in the comments below your thoughts about my thoughts about Tyrick Mitchell at Crystal Palace. And also as well, I heard rumours today that Man City have been monitoring the situation. If that's true, I think from my sort of digging, Tyrick Mitchell signed a contract extension in April 2021. So I think he will be at Palace till 2025, if I've got that right. But yeah, I heard the rumours today, Man City are interested in looking at the prospect of Tyrick Mitchell. I actually think Man City need a left back, so that for me would make sense. But people, drop in the comments down below. Tell me what you think about Tyrick Mitchell. Have you been impressed with what you've seen with him in the Premier League? Is he somebody that you would like to see at Arsenal, even if you love Kieran Tierney? Because obviously with our backup and being the Nuno Tavares, it's been very questionable from what we've seen. But people, like I said, smash the like button, subscribe to AlbertJTV. That is me for Player Focus over and out. Episode 2, hashtag Tyrick Mitchell.